All right, welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here from bullwaves.org, home of daily Elliott wave analysis. I'm reading my own homepage here. Check out bullwaves.org if you're interested in nightly Elliott wave analysis on the markets. And if you like what I do, check out the membership, join up, and I'll see you tonight and every night for the nightly update. Okay, let's get on to the scene. Let's hope this all works. Hope everything's recording. I think it is. I think for the moment, anyway, we're okay. Okay, let's get on. This is, I'm going to start with the dollar FX as usual. Still tracking this second wave correction. And, we're losing momentum to the downside now. So I think, well, I'm going for the idea that we get one more leg down to complete wave C of 2. So this would be wave A, B, and C. Wave C of 2 should complete. I'll probably give it next week. Should be complete by the end of next week. I reckon we get down. Well, I'm looking at between the previous fourth wave low would be 104.74. So wave A we should break the wave A low at 105.16. Previous fourth wave low at 104.74. 50% retracement at 102.84.85. Okay, so that's let's say a range that we could aim for to complete wave C. So between 105.16 and 102.84, you might say that's a wide enough range, but minimum to maximum, well, minimum to expected target. So let's get to the hourly count. So here is the 5-wave decline that I have been tracking. At the moment, we're completing a fourth wave. This has been a pretty slow week. We had 3 waves up in A, 3 waves down in B, and it looks like right now either we are getting a triple combination, maybe we complete 3 waves up, or we'll get one more spike. Let's say we get another spike up to about 108.20, complete wave 4 of C. We have already hit the minimum target, so we have broken the wave A high. We shall see whether we complete wave C or not at 5 waves. Anyway, that's the minimum expected is done. Let's see whether we get another spike higher today. I would expect anyway by Monday for this to turn down into wave 5. And again, looking at that minimum target of about 105 at complete wave 5. But maybe there's more. Maybe there's more in it. We'll see. Okay, let's go on to cable. Here's the 4-hour count in cable. It's been an interesting kind of jaunt sideways and upwards and sideways this week. I think overall we still have 3 waves up, pretty much done. I had thought that we were complete at the previous high, but obviously yesterday we broke out very slightly, pipped above the previous high. So again, just a more complex pattern in wave B. So we've got wave A done, wave B up, almost complete, and then we should turn down into wave C. Probably expecting a little bit more downside in cable than in Eurodollar, but down towards, I think, minimum target about 118, but maybe down towards 116. We'll see how wave C kind of plays out. Should be 5 waves down. And, as usual, track it nightly on the nightly update. So if you're interested, you know what to do. Okay, let's go on. Dollar yen. Oh yeah, sorry, I should get to the hourly count. Here's the cable hourly. We've got 3 up in wave A, possible B wave down. I don't know about that B wave, but sure. Anyway, there it is. And then maybe a wedge pattern to complete wave C. So we've got overall 3 waves up. Don't know whether it's done yet or not. It's still kind of up in the air a little bit. We've pipped the 62% retracement in wave B. I think we should head lower in wave. Actually, this count is a little bit more complex, I suppose, in the hourly count than on the 4-hour count. But anyway, we should head lower in a 5-wave decline in wave C, and that will complete wave A down. So a little bit more work to be done according to the hourly count. We'll see how it works out. Minimum target here would be a break of wave A again. That'd be 123, and then I would favor a drop towards 121. Let's go to the 4-hour count again now, just kind of elaborate on that a little bit. So this is what I have done here. See, I give the 4-hour count for direction and then the hourly count for, let's say, internal wave count. So this would be a reflection of what the hourly count is showing. Okay, so 3 waves down in A, probably expect 3 waves up in B then, and then a decline in wave C. That doesn't negate the idea that we're 1 degree higher already. We'll have to see whether that holds water or not, but I still believe we have another leg down coming. Come on, move up there. I still think we have another leg down coming in wave C overall. So let's see how that goes. Okay, let's go to dollar yen. I think we're moving higher today to begin a third wave. Overall, we're moving within wave 3 in green, and that'd be wave 3 of 3. So we've got wave 1 in red done, wave 2 in red done, and then wave 1 and 2 to begin wave 3, and then this recent rally is within wave 3 green. So let's get into the hourly count and I'll show you how that's subdividing. So we have, here's wave 3 of wave 3 in green, and we have a 3 wave decline in wave 4 green, and then we have a 1, 2. So an impulsive higher low to begin wave 5 of wave 3. I know this is convoluted, but we are setting up a 5th wave rally here to complete wave 3 in green. I would suggest probably somewhere up around 143, 144 to complete wave 3 in green here. So we've got wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 left to go. Last night I was kind of suggesting that we had, well, been a kind of again a convoluted week, sideways to down, still within a corrective pattern, but overall pretty, yeah, a pretty quiet week, let's say. Let's call it that. An impulsive rally off last week's low, and then this week we've held above at the previous 4th wave, but we've tracked sideways in a series of 3 waves. So I'm looking at this as corrective. Wave 2 higher low, and then overnight we had a spike higher. Now that needs to prove itself. We need to get above. First of all, we need to get above that wave 1 high. So we need to break 140.45 again at wave 1, and that should be enough to signal that wave 3 is underway. The larger wave count for wave 5 in blue will be confirmed if we break the wave 3 high. So that's 140.94. Call it 140.95. Call it 141, let's say. We break 141, then we are on our way up in wave 5. Let's see how that goes. Okay. And here is the count in the Dow. So again, a frustrating week. I won't deny that. That's for sure. There has been, let's say, you might argue that this rally here of the March lows, we'll call it the February, March lows. The rally has been, just the beginning of a new larger wave up. Okay, let's deal with that for a second. So we have an initial impulsive rally in wave 1, correction in wave 2, extended rally in wave 3, correction in wave 4, spike to a new high, wave 5. So that completes 5 waves up. And then you would probably say, okay, that's 3 waves down. Okay, but the 3 waves down, first of all, the internal pattern there is not great. The initial decline is impulsive. And then let's say, the internal pattern here to that new low that broke the wave 1 low it's more corrective to be honest. So we've got an impulsive move, a corrective move to a new low, which doesn't really fit a second wave, to be quite honest. We've got 3 waves down to a new low, and then we've got a 5 wave rally again. So you might say, right, this is the beginning of a 3rd wave up. Okay, but you can't account for that three-wave decline to a new low. Now let's get into the hourly count, and I'll show you how I'm accounting for that three-wave decline to a new low. So here's the three waves down to a new low below wave 1. Okay, so we broke below wave 1. Initially I was expecting, right, that's the beginning of wave 3 down. Didn't turn out that way. So we've got 3 waves down to a new low. We've got a problem now. And we've got a 5-wave rally. The way that I can reconcile that is as an expanded flat. So we've got 3 waves up in wave A, 3 waves down to a new low below wave 1. That accounts for the new low. Okay, that's perfect. We've got our let's get the correct low there for wave 1. We've got the account for our new low in wave B, because an expanded flat would bring us to a new low. And then we've got the 5-wave rally, probably a wedge, I'd say. Not a typical 5-wave extension, but we have an impulsive move lower. We've got wave A up, 3 down to a new low, 5-wave up to a slight new high above wave A. So we have got everything in place for an expanded flat correction. Now we could be moving at a higher degree. This could be wave 1 in blue. It doesn't change the pattern per se, but it might account for the larger structure, let's say. Anyway, wave 1 down, expanded flat correction, wave 2. We're still holding the lower high. We've pretty much run out of momentum here. We've got 4-hour momentum turning again to the downside after that second wave high. So we had that secondary peak. Let's get this. We have the height within wave 3 of C. We've got a secondary peak within wave 3 of C again at a lower degree. Interestingly enough, second wave peak at one lower degree within the same, wave part of the wave structure. So within wave 3 of wave C of 2. So there's a nice symmetry within that, if you can follow my thought process there. So we've got 5 waves up. We've got a lower high in wave 2. Still looking for that third wave down. Hasn't come our way yet. I would say that I'm interested enough in that momentum reversal again of a lower high. Let's see if it develops into a third wave down next week. That's my base case scenario. This wave 2 high must hold again. So 34,260 gotta hold. Let's see if we can move down. Now, gold. We've got a possible wave B high complete. There's a caveat on that, but a possible wave B high complete. So we should be moving lower within wave C of A. We've got A down, B up, C down. So we've got wave A down, wave B up, and this could be wave 1 and 2 to begin wave C. So we've got wave 1, wave 2 within a nice trend channel. Let's see if we turn lower again today to suggest that wave 3 is underway. Okay. Now, for wave C in blue, if wave C reaches, let's say, the same extent as wave A, then we're looking at a target at about 1835 for this wave C to complete. I think that's not out of the realms of probability at all. We just need to see that turn down out of this corrective-looking move here. Not quite sure whether that wave 2 is actually complete yet. It looks like we could have a 5-wave rally underway here within this small T wave. So let's label that wave A, wave B, wave C. Okay. So we've got to see that decline begin this week. Okay. This coming week, I mean. And we've got to hold the lower high today. So that's pretty much it. 1983 must hold. Let's see if we can break 1931 again over the next few days to begin wave 3 of C. Okay, move on. A few interesting markets coming up. Crude oil. What am I looking for in crude oil? Right, possible wave 2 high in place. But again, we have an alternate here. The alternate count for wave 2 again shows wave A up, 3 waves down wave B, and then maybe a beginning of a 5-wave pattern higher in wave C of 2. That's the alternate count for the moment. As long as, excuse me, as long as that 74 level holds in wave 2, then we're pretty solid, I think, for the moment. Again, we could have a caveat on that. Could be a lower high complete wave 3, or sorry, wave C. I'll get to that in the hourly count. Just note that there is a possible alternate that will allow for a run towards $78, $79 to complete this pattern. So that is also on my radar. Okay, you can see here where that alternate count came from yesterday. Even though we had a nice, impulsive decline yesterday, this could be seen as 3 waves down in wave 2, and then we could be beginning wave 3 up. Now I'm pointing to that internal high at 73.34 as a possible, as a trigger. Let's say that's a trigger level for, excuse me, it's a trigger level for the alternate count here. So if we get a break of 73.34, I will switch to that larger C wave idea. And we will look higher for probably another week or so anyway. Okay, let's get to the main count. 2 possible tops for wave C. We could have the previous high at, what are we at? 74.34. That could be the possible top for wave C. Or we could have a failed 5th wave. That's what I'm showing here for the moment. It's not, how would you say, it's not a very kosher wave count. Maybe that's an incorrect way to describe this, but it's not a very common occurrence. That's a failed 5th wave or a truncated 5th wave. But it ticks a couple of boxes. So we have that wave 1 up, nice second wave higher low, acceleration in wave 3, 3 waves down in wave 4, and then a possible truncated 5th wave as part of a wedge. So we've got a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wedge pattern gives us 5 waves. I know it's a truncated, a truncated 5th wave, but it does allow, it does explain for this internal, it's a nice explanation for this internal pattern. It's also a nice explanation for that immediate sharp reversal. So let's see. Next week, I'm expecting, main wave count is expecting further declines in wave 1 of 3. And if we break $69 again, I think that will pretty much confirm this idea. Okay, let's move on. Okay, S&P, no change this week. Still kind of hanging on for dear life in this wave 2 in green. Okay, I'm going to go to the daily count here now. I'm going to show you the alternate that has been here forever. The alternate count for a wave 1, The alternate count for wave 1 in blue is an expanding wedge, wave 1, and then a 3-wave rally in wave 2. Now, let's get some measurement on that. I think for the moment, just let's contemplate this for a second, and then let's get a fib level on today's highs. Now, ballpark fib. We have, this will be the previous 4th wave. So today's highs, this week's highs would count as a tag of the previous 4th wave high. It would also count as a tag of the 62% retracement. So even within the alternate count here, I think there's a nice picture being set up. The main count has not been invalidated just yet, and that's pretty much the reason why I can still run with it. If we do get a break of the previous 4th wave high here, or this previous high at 43.25, let's call it. If we break that high, Then I switch to the alternate account. Doesn't change a bloomin' thing. We are still, just skirting the edge of the precipice here. And as usual, I don't know. John Husman put out a lovely chart this week. If you check out his Twitter feed, he put out a lovely chart of the decline in the, I think it was the S&P decline off the 2000 tops. And there was a series, there was like 5 separate 20% rallies. Each of those counted as what the media would say would be a bull market, Each of those rallies counted as a bull market. It was just, it's comical to see people technically saying, oh, yes, we're in a bull market. S&P's in a bull market now. It's up 20%. Hold your horses there, fella. Hold your horses. If you look at the previous bear market rallies, they always top out between 20, 24, 25%. Those are the rip-roaring ones. This hasn't been a rip-roaring rally. Need I point that out? We've been chugging higher since October 2022. 9 months. 9 months to trace out a 20% rally. I'm sorry. That doesn't tick the box for me. So either one of my wave counts here. Either we've got wave 2 done and we're beginning wave 3, or wave 2 is just about to complete and we begin wave 3. Doesn't matter. Actually, at this point in time, it does not. There's no difference between those two counts. So you just watch out, because as everything else is pointing, momentum is pointing that way, volume is pointing that way. Complacency is right back up there. I think this week has been the highest call volume, one of the highest call volumes or put call ratio changes and call volumes on record. So that doesn't occur at the beginning of a new bull market. That does not occur at the beginning of a new bull market. That occurs right when people have their guard down. At this point, it's in the second wave rally. So here's the forward count. You can see the 3 waves up. The main count, actually, the alternate count has the exact same wave count at 1 degree higher. So it doesn't matter for the sake of how would you say, technical correctness, let's say. It doesn't actually, it transfers perfectly for the alternate count also. So the internal pattern is the exact same. Wave A up, running flat wave B, 3 waves. That forms a slight higher low in wave B. Then we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pattern. This 5th wave pattern, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It could be a wedge. It could be, let's get to the hourly count. We've got this leading wedge pattern in wave 1, 3 waves down in wave 2. Wave 3, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Pretty standard wave 3. Expanded flat correction wave 4. We've got this 1, 2, a trumpet pattern, let's say, expanding wedge pattern for wave 5. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up along the upper, we're skirting the upper trend line again this week. No sign of a turn down yet. Maybe we get a new high. Maybe we trigger the alternate count. As I said, at this point in time, it makes no difference at all whatsoever. Even if we break that resistance, 43.24, it doesn't change anything, to be quite honest. Maybe it even simplifies things. Who knows? Second wave top, hold your horses and hold on to your hat. That's all I'll say. Okay, move on. Silver has been a wild market this week. I still think we're tracking a B wave here, but it's been pretty wild. Pretty much 3 waves up, done. The internal pattern here is quite interesting, but suffice to say, I think we're pretty much there on this B wave. Here's the hourly count. 3 waves up in A. It's a real kind of, maybe it's an elongated 3 wave pattern down in wave B. And then we've got this real strange kind of, again, expanding wedge pattern. I've got wedges all over the place. That would have meant something completely different back in my secondary school days, or you guys over in the States, your high school days. That wedges all over the place. Wedgies. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding wedge pattern in wave C. Again, it's the end of the road for this B wave. We've just tagged the 50% retracement of wave A. I was interested in this previous high because we actually tagged the previous fourth wave high almost to a pip and then turned lower. I thought that was reasonably impulsive, but anyway, that was ruled out this week. So we've got, let's just check. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay, move on. We've got a possible pattern to complete in wave C, and then move down into wave one of C of the next leg down. So I would suspect this next C wave is going to bring us down probably towards that $20 handle again. We break 1990, we will, a whole different scenario may be unfolding here. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, let's check in on Bitcoin. What have we got this week? The declining channel is still underway. Series of 1-2s, I think, still underway. We may have another little spike higher to complete a lower degree 1-2. Maybe we get this sort of, how would you say, larger third wave up, or larger second wave up to complete wave 2 at a lower high, and then we decline in wave 3 of 3. That's probably the base case scenario here. Third of third decline will break that previous fourth wave, so we're talking about below 19,000 again before we start consolidating. Just don't look for this. How would I say? Bitcoin turned before other risk assets turned back in 2020. Bitcoin turned first. Let's go to the daily count. Back in 2021, sorry. Bitcoin turned first. It crashed. Then you had a spillover into the equity markets. They crashed 2022. Oil has crashed. Commercial real estate is crashing. The housing market is turning. Interest rates went sky high, through the roof. You name it. It's all rolling over all at the same time. Bitcoin went first because Bitcoin is the most speculative asset. Not even an asset. Forgive me. That's an insult to actual assets. Bitcoin went first because it's the most speculative, let's say, vehicle out there, and it ain't done yet. So that's where I'll leave it. We have there's another couple of legs down in this one, in this baby. So let's move on. I think we've topped the fourth wave and we're heading down into a fifth wave. FTSE. Here's the 4-hour count in FTSE. We had this nice impulsive move down into the March lows in wave 1, 3 waves up in wave 2, and now we've got wave 1 and 2 tracking again. So it's a series of impulses beginning a third wave. Here we go. The hourly count. We've got 5 waves down in wave 1. Looking at a possible 3 wave up towards 77.45, 77.50 to complete second wave, and then turn down into wave 3. We'll see. Maybe we turn quicker than that. I don't know. That's the base case scenario at the moment, is the second wave run higher towards 77.50, let's call it. Okay. The DAX has turned lower off the high as well. The hourly count, wave 1 down, 3 waves up in wave 2. We seem to be turning again. Let's see if we get, again, it's a pretty similar scenario to most of the other equity markets. Apart from probably the NASDAQ. Go to the 4-hour count on the NASDAQ. I've been looking for this top in the NASDAQ for a while now. We had this kind of, let's say, jaws closing around this rally. It didn't trap it, obviously, but we've had that final melt up into, let's say, the AI craze. We have now just broken above the 62% retracement, and we've come to a kind of a halt. So let's see. This could be a small head and shoulders pattern building around that 62% retracement. See that head and shoulders. Maybe we turn down impulsively. Start taking out internal, let's say, previous fourth wave. So we've got 13, let's say 13,520 maybe, and let's say 12,720. So call that two previous fourth waves, two initial support levels. If they go, we're done. We're done. And that, oh, what a nice way to finish the narrative. We're done. And that completes the video update this week. And we are done. It is finished. Believe it or not, it is finished are the final words of Yeshua, the Messiah, the promised one, the Holy One of Israel, our great God and Savior, Jesus Christ, the Messiah. Those were his final words. It is finished. What was he talking about when he said it is finished? He wasn't talking about his life. He was talking about the job he came to do. It is finished. And he gave up his spirit. He laid his life down and he took it up again 3 days later. Because he is God. That's why. I know I'm going to have like people come back at me always like this. You know, I know on the mosque on the Temple Mount there, it's written above it, God has no need of a son. Well, you know, God might have something to say about that. God gave his son as an express image of himself. You picture God as the eternal being, the eternal creator outside of all creation, cannot exist wholly within creation itself. God came into creation as an express image of himself outside of time. So within time and outside of time, he existed at the same time. So he existed as a son, let's say, came as the perfect human being, died after living a sinless life. And he gave you the opportunity to accept that, believe it. And in doing so, payment for your sin has been done. Just like the Israelites had to lay their hand on the lamb as it was being slaughtered by the priest. The father of the household had to lay his hand on the lamb as it was being slaughtered, to believe that his sins and the sins of his family were being transferred to that lamb, and that lamb was paying for the sin of the family. And the atoning sacrifice was then done. So that's why you need to believe. You need to lay your sin upon the Messiah, the Lamb of God. Lay your sin upon him. That's why he said his yoke is easy. Because he is the bull that's sacrificed. He is the lamb. And his yoke is easy. His yoke is easy because he's paid for your sin if you accept it. You accept the sacrifice. He's paid for your sin. He will count you as one of his. And then you will not be let out of his hand again. He'll guide your life. He's guiding mine. Sometimes I wonder. But he's guiding mine. And I think the whole purpose in my life, however, small it is, the purpose he had for me was to do these videos and to give this gospel presentation, the good news presentation at the end of these videos. I think that's probably the whole point to my life. It's quite small, but the good news needs to be spoken into every corner of the world. And this little corner of the world that I inhabit, let's say the market forecasting world, the how would you say, the financial sphere, nobody, you are an unreached mass right there. You shouldn't be proud of that, but you are an unreached mass. The financial world is a godless world. And I'm speaking into a godless world. Well, no, they have their own God. It's their money. Boy, do they love their money. So I'm speaking into that void of the finance world, of the a market participants world. And I'm telling you that, you're going to die. It doesn't matter how much money is in your bank account. I watched this. I came across this guy this week called Dan Pena. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Oh my word. Boy, oh boy. That man, he needs Jesus. Big time. Oh boy. Yeah. So that he kind of epitomized the world of finance for me. I looked at him. I said, yeah, that's the godless world of finance right there. His God, no, his God is mammon, as Jesus said. His God is money. And you cannot have two gods at one time. You can only have one. And they have chosen money. So I'll speak to you again and I'll say, you're going to die and you're going to face your creator. And there's only two ways you face your creator: carrying all your sin or not carrying it. If you're carrying all your sin, you will not go to heaven. You cannot be accepted into the kingdom. And there's only one way to not be carrying your sin, and that is to believe it's been placed on the head of the perfect sacrifice, that is Jesus Christ. See how that came full circle there? I don't actually plan these things. So you place your trust in the Messiah. You place your belief in that perfect sacrifice. You put your hand on that lamb's head, and he was killed for you. And then you are accepted into the kingdom because you no longer have your sin. It was paid for on the cross. And that's that. I think that's the longest gospel presentation I've ever given. If you have reached the end of this video and you stayed to listen to all that, fair play to you. Send me an email. I'd like to talk. All right. See you tonight in the nightly update. Goodbye. God bless. Bye-bye.